So in May of 2016, I was prepared to have the worst summer of my life. Now, a little bit of background on that. Spring was my second semester as a freshman in college at Trevecca Nazarene University, which is a private school in Nashville, Tennessee. And like a lot of people, freshman year was a pretty tough time. Even though I was meeting a lot of new people and had lots of new friends, I still felt pretty lonely. I was homesick a lot of the time. I mingled between friend groups. I was trying to get involved in my major. And so a lot was happening, but it still felt really stagnant. Now, small change of pace just before that summer it started. I talked to my RD about being summer RA at our guy's dorm, and he said he'd be happy to give me the job. So when May came around and it was almost time for summer, and I was one of the only people not going home, I remember panicking. For instance, what was campus going to be like with nobody there? Who was I going to hang out with since all my regular friends were states away at home? What was I going to do when I got bored, etc.? So obviously I spent a lot of time worrying about it, but then June rolled around and I was actually living it. So the summer definitely started off a little bit shaky. I didn't have my job on campus anymore helping my professor, and I didn't know anybody really that closely that was still on campus. But I did have a couple new roommates, Elijah and Taylor. The downside is I didn't know either one of them very well at all. So not having a job, when I started to run out of money, naturally my mother worried and told me that I should go out and try to get a new job. And so I did. I went down to Opera Mills, the local mall in Nashville, and I sat in the parking lot and freaked out, as normal. Now, thankfully, I was texting one of my good friends at the time, and I was like, why am I so nervous? I feel like I could talk to a brick wall, but I can't seem to talk to people anymore. This is all new. And her advice was, get started. She said, starting is the hardest part, but once I go, it'll get easier, and it'll take a little bit of practice, but that's just it. It'll get easier. And so, reluctantly, I did. I got started. I walked into a couple different places. I remember checking out Polo and Nike, but nothing that really was exciting to me. But I remember my mom had mentioned that there was a Disney store at our mall. Working for Disney was always kind of a dream, but not living in Florida, it had kind of just ran away from my mind at this point. So I made it a point for Disney to be my last stop after I'd had some practice runs, basically, and I walked in there and talked to an assistant manager just to say hey and tell her that I filled out an application. Now, this is about an hour before the mall was going to close, but she said, you know, me and my store manager are looking at applications right now. Do you want to come in and have an interview? So despite my nerves about the outcome, I said, absolutely. As far as details go, I don't remember too much about the actual interview, but next thing I knew, I was walking out with both of the store managers about an hour after the mall had closed with the job. So of course, I had to call my mom right away. She was pretty happy. Now, after that, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't an overnight change, but I did realize that through this new job, slowly but surely, I was making new friends. My new co-workers at a place that I actually liked became kind of a small family. I started to go to events that were being posted on Facebook for people who were stuck on this relatively small campus for the summer. And through little things like that, people that were once acquaintances were now my closest friends, including my roommate Elijah, who I had never met before this summer. And the icing on the cake was definitely going to Disney World with my brand new cast member perks. So the advice I would give to anybody in a situation like me or to 2016 Josh is exactly what my friend told me in that parking lot. Just get started. Use your imagination, get out there, and be confident. You have to really embrace those nerves. And I know that's not easy advice. Starting really is the hardest part. But trust me, it gets easier. Because to this day, in 2018, me and my Nashville friends still talk about the best summer of our lives in 2016. Flash forward to today, I should definitely heed my own advice after transferring to UCF from Nashville and basically being a freshman all over again. But it's never too late to get started, so better get to it.